still ripping off Aiden. Here is the car, here is the track, and this is why I can't win a championship. So, here we go. This is the last round of the Club 100 iRacing Championship, where many cars are spread across 4 different classes. And over the season we competed in different disciplines, from GT3 to NASCAR and back to MX-5s. The winner gets a seat in probably the most famous spec karting series in the UK. The runner-up gets cash, and based on how my season's been going...
Again, 6.7 seconds. Oh, as someone's office was down. Oh, there has been a fair play.
Oh, and it's just contact there with
the front end of the Lamborghini out of control. It's going to run wide. That's surely going to be Friedman's chances of winning this race gone.
I'm getting nothing, unless...
Season for the Club 100 iRacing Championship here at Donington Park. A sunny...
Look, coming into this round, I'm sitting P4 in the championship. I'm not out of it mathematically, but I am out of it, you know, logically. In this round, we've got 3 sprint races to sort things out. And if I do really well, and my competitors do not really well, I could vault up to P2 and grab the cash. So this needs to be flawless. The first half of the race was a bit like those Olympic bike races, with the top 4, including me, being very lucky that we could break away. Kind of thanks to some side-by-side behind, P5 getting this slowdown penalty, and then a few incidents. You lose so much time battling on a track like this, so just like those bike races, you just want to stay in line and wait for an opportunity. And coming on to lap 5, we got our first battle. Sam runs wide coming out of the chicane, and Matt gets a run. When you're the third car, there's not really much you can do, so I just let them battle and focus on exits. Okay, I lied. What you can do is make sure that they stay too wide, and that's what we do here by giving Sam a little push, making sure that they stay side by side through turn 3. And now, depending on who gives up, they're going to be compromised through the old hairpin, and we can set up a cutback. It's not great from me, but I still get a good amount of momentum, and we can side drive Matt up the hill. I don't know what it was on this evening, but I just wasn't feeling very confident, and I give Matt way too much room on entry here, compromising my line. Sam in the lead takes loads of speed, he just wants to get away. And my nervous approach leaves me vulnerable to Matt, and he stays alongside. Now we have the inside for the long right-hander at turn 8, but I'm so nervous of the slowdown here that I give a lot of room and slow down. And I'm going to be mentioning slowdowns a lot in this video, and what they are just penalties in iRacing, where on some corners, depending on the rules for that track, if you get more than half a car over a white line, you'll get an instant slowdown penalty, and those can be really harsh and completely take you out of a race. They often feel never-ending, and sometimes they are.
Oh no. What?
You'll have to slow down.
113 seconds? Wait a minute.
There's a thin line between ultimate pace and failure to keep within the limits. And when I lose confidence in myself, that line just seems to disappear. Anyway, back to the race, and we were side by side for what, 2 corners? And we've already been gapped by Sam by almost a second, so I just fall back in line. James gives us a little bump as if to say, go for it, make a move, but we want to fight for the win, not for second. And 2 Mazdas are faster than 1, so a couple laps later and we've caught him right back up. Sam makes a little mistake coming out of 7, goes a bit wide, and Matt just leaps and goes up the inside of turn 8. And all we got to do is just follow him through on the apex, and now we're up to P2. I know I'm kind of rushing through these early battles, but they really don't matter because no one's quite pushing it as hard as they could, and you know, other than a couple of close calls like this, we're just in line, sort of shuffling our way forward and back, getting ready for that final battle.
that change there for the lead
Yes,
again.
it was.
It was indeed. Henry Mackenzie Friedman by on Matt Kendall. Are we going to go 3 wide for the lead? Why not? Let's go for it. It's the last night of the season. Into Redgate corner they go. Matt Kendall trying to hang around the outside. Sam Sanders losing the opportunity on the inside there. The door closed, and who retains the lead. But Matt Kendall now going around the outside of the early part of the Crater curves. He'll have the inside line through the next bit. Can he seize the advantage time for the old hairpin? Side by side still, or at least there's a bit of overlap there. It's Mackenzie Friedman swooping back through Sam Sanders again. Stiffs an opportunity here. If you're Jeff, what do you do here? trying for a pass on the grass goes Sam Sanders, but he hasn't got the grip to keep his foot in it, and it goes back to 2 wide as they head towards McLean's. Still Henry Friedman on the inside, still Matt Kendall in second. Sam Sanders trying to look for room on the inside, but he's going to get held up, if anything, by Friedman ahead of him. They're going to try and drag race perhaps down the inside of Matt Kendall on the Dunlop straight, but Matt Kendall's been very good at carrying speed onto this back straight this evening. You can see they've pretty much got parity there as they're heading down towards the last chicane. In fact, if anything, Matt Kendall carries great speed onto that back straight. And once again, Andrew, I've burned through a lot of the voice box, but they're still in the same order as they started the lap.
A little bit of a bump draft was crucial there from Sam Sanders. Matt Kendall gets good speed off of the final turn. Again, he's going to try and go around the outside. There's a bit of a touch there as they approach Redgate corner. Matt Kendall's still going to try and go around the outside. And if he pulls this off, this is one of the overtakes of the season. It's not done yet, 3 wide as they head down towards the Craner curves. Be careful, boys. This gets tough.
The cars might be fake, but the racing is definitely real. And this is some of the best racing I've ever had on the sim. So I'm just going to try my best.
Alongside Henry Mackenzie Friedman, who holds onto it, but what a sequence of corners here that's still not done. Here comes Matt Kendall again. Now has got second place. Can he get up the inside of Henry Mackenzie Friedman for the lead of this one? Not quite. James de Havilland still watching patiently, awaiting his opportunity to move up from 4th place. But what a clinic is being put on here. The top 3 club.
Just 2 laps to go, no mistakes.
Top 4 in the championship overall are giving us some great entertainment here tonight. Matt Kendall's not able to get through on this occasion. We've got 20, as wide goes Friedman, they all go wide almost. Friedman very wide though. It's going to be 3 wide again down into Redgate. We've got just about, I think we're going to get 2 more laps in here as Sam Sanders has he snuck through into the race lead. Round the outside of Henry Mackenzie Friedman, whose tyres I imagine will be a little bit dirty after that off-track excursion. Here comes Kendall once again to try and retake second place down through the Craner curves once again with just around a minute on the clock to go. We have seen some spectacular racing over the years in this championship, Howard, but genuinely I think that's one of the best 2-lap long battles we have ever seen in these MX-5s. 3 drivers, James de Havilland waiting as well, on top of their game, absolutely superb. That, in iRacing, is how it's done.
And after all that hard work, all I've managed to do is get myself back right where I started. There's 1 more lap in the race, let's go for it.
Sam Sanders on the inside, Matt Kendall in the middle, Friedman round the outside. Sanders bails out of it and switches back to the conventional racing line. He's going to try and get the switch back as the 2 ahead of him go side by side out of Redgate corner, and it's still Friedman with the advantage. Sam Sanders now pulls alongside Matt Kendall. He's in a position similar to what Kendall's been in for the last couple of laps. Sanders will try and hang it round the outside of the old hairpin, swoop round, and that's nicely done from Sam Sanders just up into second place. Still James de Havilland is choosing just to keep his powder dry in this one. It's going to be Henry Mackenzie Friedman, but he's not going to be able to slow down to soak it all in. He's got to race to the line. Friedman takes it.
I'm so happy with that race. And that's race 1 complete. And now I think is a good time to talk about the mental side of racing and where I fall short. See, I have this book. It's all about professional race driving techniques. It's by a guy called Bentley. There's so much good information in there about the track, how to set up the car, different racing lines, managing traffic, goes on and on. There's also this section at the back about the driver. I pretty much never, ever, ever read that section. I like to nerd out on the car, the track. When it came to the driver, I'm like, I've got it. But I read through and it just reminded me of Max. And I've always been the biggest Max Verstappen hater until I watched him sim race. You know, whether it's a meme or like high level esports racing, one thing always stands out. The guy makes the right decisions, always. The book says that driving is all about compromises. Ideal lines change lap to lap, depending on your tires, fuel, who's around you, where are they, what mistakes are they making. And the best drivers are ones who pick the right compromises in the moment. Max does that, and when I watch him or some of my teammates, I see that same instinct. I like to think that I have it too, and I make the right decisions in sim and in real life. But for me, it only shows up when I'm confident and mentally sharp. On this day, I wasn't. I came in with barely any shot at the championship, but when a win looked possible, I start second guessing, started making the wrong compromises. And here's how it played out. First thing to say for race 2 is the starting grid is the finishing order from the last race. So we're on pole, Matt Kendall's right behind us, and then in P2 should be Sam, but he somehow managed to miss the grid and has to start from the pit lane. This is exactly what I needed. So he leaves the pits and is instantly met by a car facing the wrong way, manages to blink out, come back, and there's another car facing the wrong way. This car's all over the track, all on the grass, and then he's gonna look to the outside of Eric up here, and Eric, I think, just doesn't see him and turns across, and he picks up some damage. And later on around the lap, it just gets worse. So how do we get on? We have a pretty decent start, nice opening lap, but we're not really pulling away at all. About halfway around the lap and I'm starting to feel the pressure a little bit. I feel like I need to push, I feel like I'm slow. I'm coming through the final chicane on the first lap and I do exactly what Sam just did. Clip the inside curb wrong, huge snap of oversteer and managed to get it collected up, but I've lost all momentum and Matt and James come by. The kind of depressing theme that I want to hammer home in this race is how mistakes can compound and confidence is so key. Will has a bit of an overlap coming down towards the old hairpin, but we're just going to commit, take the off track. We've only got 17 of those for the race. Heading into final chicane once again, and I make a huge mistake. I take too much curb and get a slowdown. Just a couple centimeters too far to the right. This penalty stuck with us all the way from the start finish line down to the old hairpin. 2 mistakes and I've already lost so many places. I go aggressive and set up a switchback as soon as I've served the slowdown. We sweep back past Cameron and I'm just driving angry at this point. I know that I've messed it up, but on lap 4 I managed to catch the pack. Hope is building again as I can see my pace compared to the guys ahead. But as quickly as I get that hope, I lose it again. Another slowdown. I'm in the draft, I shouldn't be pushing like this, but I'm making the wrong decisions. Cameron must think that I'm just fucking with him at this point because I keep on slowing down in front of him. But I literally don't have a valid lap, so my slowdowns last forever. Again, I serve it just as he comes past and then go for another switchback. I apologized after the race because I just felt like this was a bit unfair. I'm frustrated, but I can see that Sam's way back, so I just get my head down and push, and by lap 9 we've caught them. SpongeBob car is not in my class, so he just lets me by and we're up to P5 already. We chase the pack, going down into the old hairpin, and once again we just want to get momentum to take us up the hill. We get really good momentum, but don't really have anywhere to go. Steve covers off the right, so we have to go left, taking a little bit of curb. Then I can see a path through, but Sam blocks us off. And again, I'm looking for the cutback. I think I can get down the inside of Steve, but then Castro is on my inside, and we have to back off. It's really frustrating, but obviously great racing. Keeping that pressure on down towards the chicane, and Steve decides to make a move. So we know what to do, we just focus on that exit. Hey, I've been here before. I know what to do. We go for that move again. Your brain tells you to cover the inside, but what you really want on turn 1 is the outside. You want the momentum down through turn 2. We've run out of road a little bit, but we keep the momentum and we keep the place. He keeps an overlap through turn 2, but we have the inside into the tighter turn 3 and are far enough ahead to fully commit to the old hairpin. Despite there still being another 10 laps in the race, 2 MX-5s are faster than 1 and I just can't catch Matt and James. So that's it, nothing else happens. I lost my chance to win again, and that's race 2 complete. If race 1 was about confidence and success, race 2 is about overthinking and letting problems snowball. In race 3, all I need to do is finish ahead of Sam, and I get the prize. But it's not going to be that easy. I'm starting P3, and this is the first time that we see Adam. Incredibly fast and talented, but a bit of a bandit, and completely out of the championship fight. But let's ride on board with him for the race start, and he gets a good getaway, and instantly ducks behind us. He forces us to go defensive, but then takes a look to the outside. As we said before, that's the line you want to be on as long as you can get enough overlap, because you can carry so much speed. And he gets a decent run down the hill, but I decide to help him by braking a little bit. I don't want to fight this early. I feel like I've got such a long race to go, and I just need to take it easy. We have a decent run up the hill, and we just want to work to close the gap and get away from the cars behind. I know Adam's fast, so let's just go. So we've closed the gap a little bit up the hill, and as we go into turn 7, we're going to get a bit of oversteer. Tyres are still cold, and there's a lot of debris across the track. Heading up towards turn 8 now. There's a tiny bit of a gap forming, and I'm just a bit in my head about it. I'm not under pressure behind, but I'd like to close up the gap in front. And it's almost like the fact that I've had all of these mistakes at the chicane makes me even more scared of it. But as we approach the chicane, I try to take it a little bit differently, use a bit less steering angle, and I just completely miss the second apex and get a slowdown again. I have to be on the brakes all the way down the front straight and lose all of the places that I made up in the last race, completely undoing all of that progress. Can't quit now, Sam's still behind us, so we go for an instant switch back on Will, and wait, and Sam's literally behind us now. We need to get a move on. I'm pushing the car now, get a good run through 7 and make a decisive quick move on SpongeBob. Up into turn 8. Gives us a little bump back, but that's okay. Now as we head down towards the final chicane once again, and there's just a mess in front of us, so I want no part of it. I've made too many mistakes and I just relax when there probably was a good move to be made there. Will makes a little move behind us in the background. And of course we get a terrible run off the corner because we're not committed. And what you're seeing is just this horrible mix of overthinking, underdriving, overdriving, underbattling. It's I'm really not proud of this kind of racing. But as we come down the hill, we've got a good run on Stevie, and we make a look around the outside of turn 3. We have a decent amount of overlap, and I don't have too many options, so I just send it in, but end up running out of road on exit. Any other day and I'm giving this position back for taking it off the road, but the stewards, I'm going to leave it in their hands. Bouncing onto lap 4, and I can see the front of the pack again, and I'm not even letting myself hope this time, but I can see a lot of battling ahead and a few lunges into the first corner. That was Sam T with a late lunge on Adam and holds him up. This lets Ollie get alongside and make a move around the outside of turn 3. They're bumping and banging a little bit, and I want to get involved. So I set up that cutback and make sure I get the best run possible up the hill. Ollie pushes Adam off. I give Adam all the space in the world to rejoin, because we know we've got the momentum and the inside line for the important turn 7. As we come up towards turn 8, I'm just focused forward, I'm looking forward, and I can see Matt Kendall at the head of the field. I make a half-hearted defensive move, trying to put him off the inevitable send. Adam hits the curb just as I did on lap 1, and it bounces him straight into me, and I get that slowdown once again. Okay, it's only lap 5. We've done this like 12 times in the last 2 races. We can catch back up. Let's do it. And we have to, because Sam is literally right behind us. Frustrated, I look for a move on the grass, but think better of it. Then I duck back into the inside, and when I get there, I'm going to make a move up the inside of the old hairpin. I wish that I could tell you that this race had some heroic comeback, that I made the right compromises, found the confidence, and pulled off something special. But I didn't. Yes, SpongeBob missed the corner, but I shouldn't have been there in the first place. And Sam did exactly what I couldn't. Made smart, clean decisions under pressure. And that's what that chapter and this video is about. Not talent, not pace, but choices. And I got heat in my last video on smurfs because people didn't really get the difference between a 5k driver and a 9k driver. Well, I hope by showing you where I suck and where I know I can improve, you as the viewer can understand this difference. There's 1,000 decisions, or more than 1,000 decisions to be made every race, and next time I'm going to make the right ones. Okay, that's the video. It was really serious, but it's a serious topic, and I hope that you can take something from it, because in making it, I definitely did. And if you like content like this, please subscribe, do all the stuff to make the algorithm happy, and please check out the Smurf video from 2 weeks ago, which was really fun as well. So please check that out. But yeah, this was really fun, so see you guys next time.
I think I'm going to do something else. Losing good.